Did I tell you about my Albatross? Hey yo, here we go. Come on.
Welcome to another episode of Did I Tell You About My Albatross? I'm your host, Albie. This is the golf podcast for honest degenerates. It's like teaming up with your favorite foursome every week and diving into the best stories in and around golf. You guys ready to tee off? Let's go! Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Did I Tell You About My Albatross? I'm your host, Albie. We got a great one for you tonight. We've actually got our boy, Panda. Say what's up, Panda.
What up?
Got my boy Shepard, Koala, Mayor. Yeah, call him whatever you want. And then we've got a special guest. This is crazy. I thought it was going to take years for us to get a professional golfer in here. No offense, Panda. I mean, I know you're technically a pro, but
Shut up, PGA of America.
Yeah, but dude, we have an exclusive for y'all. This is crazy. I mean, in a shed. First of all, I can't believe we tricked your ass into getting here and we put you in a shed with three degenerates. This is fantastic. And then secondly, I can't believe we were able to pull this off. We got Brad Brunner. Thank you for joining us, my man. Friend of the show, friend of the club. And man, welcome. Thanks for joining us. So let's just jump in this thing. Do you want to know why you're here, man? Like, do you understand? He said he didn't tell you anything about it. And
I did not tell him.
He especially didn't tell you it was going to be in a shed, which I love, by the way. I think that's hilarious.
No, it's great. It's a
I said 8 o'clock and gave him the address.
Yeah.
So-
He actually gave me the address at about 6:50.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks for let me turn off my window unit. Hey, Ryan. So by the way, the MVP of this whole thing is our editor.
I see you behind the shed right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Turn that off.
The problem is
Thanks,
you
Ryan.
clap when you need an edit. The more he gets going, the funnier he starts to find stuff. He does one of these when he laughs.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, so Ryan's all fucked up. He doesn't know what to edit, so he cuts stuff when he shouldn't. It's crazy. The reason that we're doing this podcast, this is what drives me nuts. Like, have you even heard this Albatross story? Obviously, you heard the rap song that I just dropped for you, which, by the way, is an exclusive. It's going to be dropped right here at the end of this episode for all y'all. Heard the rapper's pretty good. Have you heard about it? And you've been a member, not only were you a member, but your dad was a member at Carrollwood for a long time, right?
Long time. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I did not hear about that. It's a pretty ridiculous story.
See, that's crazy to me. That to me can't happen. That's the whole reason we're fucking doing this podcast, because it drives me insane.
He tells it to everybody.
It was member 2020. Brian, or actually Crane, we call him on the show, and I were playing, and we get to Pine 1, and we were down 3 shots going into that hole. We didn't know that at the time. We tee off Pine 1, and I hit my drive. It was an amazing drive. I mean, I was all over the place that day, per the usual. Until I started working with Panda, I'm a reformed hooker now, and so I hit my drive, and then we go out there, and of course Crane is he could care less. He's done. He's over the remember, we thought we were out of it. So we get there, and then I pull out my trusty 3-wood, and I pipe it, dude, 247, I think. And
You know what it was.
Yeah, I do.
We'd like to put a plaque in.
We'd like to put a plaque in. I'd like to get your opinion on that. But then what's crazy about it is Ocean Knight, he was there along with our buddy Nick, and they saw it go in. They actually saw the shot go in. So long story short, we go in, turn our scorecard in, and then we find out we were 3 shots back going into that hole. So we ended up tying for the win on the last shot of the tournament for member with an Albatross. It was net. Fuck you, by the way. Yes, it was net. But yes.
No, it was an Albatross. They tied for the net club championship.
Sure.
Yeah, member.
Okay.
Yeah,
Member.
And so, dude, I didn't get a trophy. I didn't get shit. I got that little member cup up there, and I made my own trophy.
This is
scorecard playoff or something, or
self-made.
what? How did you know?
So we went to Pine 1, dude. We were ready to rock these dudes, and we get there, and I'm gonna have those guys on, by the way. But we get there, and they're like, "Oh, we're actually just gonna let the gross people have a playoff."
That's trash.
So we tied for the win. But still, dude, an Albatross as the last shot of the tournament to tie for the win of any kind of tournament. Granted, yeah, it's stupid Carrollwood. I get it. But I don't know, man. To me, it's amazing.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
What are the odds? What are the actual odds?
We've got them.
I hired an actuary to run the numbers, and
statistician.
It's 6 million. 1 in 6 million is an Albatross, but I have no idea what it is to win a tournament. What are the odds you can be in that predicament?
April 20
on the last hole, last shot.
April 2020 was coronavirus, there wasn't that little pool noodle in there, was there?
There was not.
Ooh,
No.
Okay.
No,
that was gonna be tough if there was the pool noodle in the hole.
Oh, but no, I think so. I had a hole in one during that time, and I think that's actually tougher because it would bounce right out.
I don't know about that.
I do. I think so.
You think it's tougher?
You know, I'm not trying to
I'm gonna
throw my Albatross in
I'm
there.
gonna default to Brunner.
Oh, dude, that was going to be my question. So, okay, so that's why you're here. That's the whole reason for the pod. Thank you for joining us, by the way. It was a weird intro. I get it. So that was going to be one of my first questions. Do you have an Albatross?
A one. Yes, one.
Okay.
During when the pool noodle fiasco was going on in the
Dude,
world.
I think that actually adds to the fact.
That's what I thought. I'm like, yeah, this is how stupid an Albatross is really to make it during the pool noodle in there. 5-iron at Tampa Palms. Can't remember the hole. Something on the back. Maybe the 10, 11, 12. 12? Yeah. Yeah, Palms number 12.
I
Okay.
think that's a
Oh, that
5.
right? Yeah, it was good. It was sick. I was pumped.
Did you
Five
see
was
it go
sick.
in, or were you unsure?
Yeah, it was a back right pin, and you could kind of see it. It's a little raised. And we saw it
You
go
knew it.
in. But I'm like, gosh, it's pure.
You were like, damn, I wish this was to win a tournament.
That was sick. Yeah, pretty good.
Let's dig into a little bit about your story, man, because I love it. What little I know about it, and I'm excited to learn a little bit more about it because you've had quite the journey. By the way, your dad, I love. He was the first person at Carrollwood. They paired me up. Darren was like, welcome to the club. I'm going to pair you up with Larry. They probably don't want us to use their real names, so I'm going to go ahead. Salgado, Will, and Madonna. Probably.
That was your first group.
That was my first group.
At
I'm like,
Carrollwood? Wow.
well, this is a random ass club, dude. I'm like, is there anyone close to my age here? And I'm old, but I'm like, but your dad was like the first person, and so from that moment, man, whenever I'd see him around the club, he'd always be like, hey. Anyway, so you guys have been members for a long time. I guess is my point, right? You grew up on the course.
I didn't really grow up on the course. So my dad was the head pro at Rogers Park for like 14 years. So I played a lot out there as a kid. A lot of gambling, like 13, 14. They had probably the best money games. Back then, it was like they'd get 60 people on a Saturday, Sunday, 25 ahead, straight skins.
No way.
Oh, every time, right? And it was awesome going out there. I think it was good, but yeah, I mean, I was playing at Carrollwood when I was around that time too, probably 10. There was just a bunch of us causing, just raging basically out there. I mean, terrorizing the cart barn downstairs, Stinger 3-irons, like Indy 500, spraying the corners. It was a cool time.
So obviously you grew up around the course and stuff, but like, did your dad teach you? Like, was he
A little bit, but you know, as I've begun my new path of teaching, in my own experiences, kids don't want to listen to their parents.
That's so true.
We'd be out there, he'd help me, and I would just be like, no, that's not right, Dad. No, I'm not doing that. It's not right. It's like he was right the whole time. That's just the way it is, right?
I wanted to dive into that because I've got a son, and like one of the things I can't wait. You do too. Like, I mean, you like one of the things like I want.
My
obviously
dad coached me in tennis as well,
right
my whole life. Yeah.
So
Same thing, Billy, or did you listen?
I listened until I was probably 14, 15.
And then you're like,
Then I moved down here to Florida
yeah,
and started training down here.
okay.
It just got too much. Like every day, 4
That's a
hours a
big
day
bump.
on the court with my dad was just too much.
that's just a moth. Don't worry about that one.
I got a horsefly in the garage today that was just out of nowhere.
Dude, Florida's got some
Tearing
crazy
me
ass
up.
bugs.
Yeah,
man.
we do.
And
Eat that bug.
Eat that bug. That was one of our shirts. We're gonna make a shirt called "Eat That Bug." That's one of the that bug. Eat that. I was telling you the caddy story. It's funny you say that because like I worry about like trying to force my son. Like I haven't pushed him at all towards it, and like he hasn't picked it up yet. I don't want to force him into it because of that. Like you don't want, but you still ended up loving golf, obviously. Like
Yeah, I mean, he never pushed me, but when it came, like, he never said, "Hey, you need to go practice. You need to do this." I just love doing it,
yeah.
and I just
Did you?
I just love doing it. So it was a no brainer for me, and all my friends were there. But
And you had access to the club.
My dad
Or to the-
definitely pushed me.
Did he?
Oh yeah.
Throw firecrackers at your feet like Tiger
yeah.
Woods.
Yeah, shout out Earl. Hey, Earl gets results. Say what you want about Earl, but
Dude, Earl was banging chicks. And by the way, if Tiger wants to come on here, forget I'm saying this right here, which he never will.
if you speak bad of Earl, we're not getting Tiger.
No, I'm actually not
Man.
speaking bad about it, but like the fact that he would bang chicks in a camper while Tiger was practice putting on the putting green is crazy to
Gangster,
me.
what that is.
I'm just
Alpha.
not sure if it's in the cards for us to get Tiger on this spot.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I don't think a Tiger's ever.
What do you
done
think,
a
Brad?
Probably
podcast.
never seen the shed. He might be interested.
Yeah.
This could be right up his alley. Don't let him fool
Can we
you.
fit him in there too?
Oh, yeah.
So
4 guys and a tiger.
we did 4 guys in a panda.
I mean, he is the epitome of the spirit animal.
Right.
He goes with this place.
Oh, dude, that's a very good point. Speaking of, we're gonna by the end of this episode, we're gonna
Shoot
have
him an email.
by the end of this episode, again, one of the things that we do here, might as well go ahead and give a short plug to Daphne's Head Covers. Where's our sponsorship money? Daphne, send us your sponsorship money. And by the way, you sound hot. By the end of this episode, we're gonna have Mr. Brunner's spirit animal pegged, and we've got a couple things flying around right now. I tried to come at him with B Square. He shot that down. Everyone shot that down. Bumblebee, you liked you,
Bumblebee's not dead, in my opinion.
but you said always hard for a lefty. That's not really a spirit animal. We got to come up with like maybe a southpaw looking character.
Paw, South Park. I don't know.
Oh, all right.
I mean, if you're just gonna go down that.
Maybe there's an
hole.
animal that's mostly predominantly left-handed.
Look
we
that
could
up
look
while
into.
we're on this. Dude.
That's a
I
great
can't-
thought right there. Actually,
They blame me for getting off track, and it's really them that throw me off, dude. So we're talking about you're raised around a golf course. When did you start figuring out I'm actually I can do something with this maybe?
I just always wanted to do it. I mean, when I was going way back, Rogers Park days, kind of before first tee, it was Urban Junior Golf. And a couple of the people locally, Mike Cooper, who now works with the USGA, but he does a lot.
Who was the other guy that taught up there? There was a guy, the younger guy at the time. When I first moved there, I took a couple lessons from him at Rogers Park. I thought he was the pro there when I
Probably still is. And I feel bad not remember his name.
Yeah, you
Anyway.
gotta put Brad in a rough spot.
sorry, dude. Yeah. All right.
TJ. Sorry, TJ.
TJ.
Heidel.
Yes, TJ. Dude, that's totally him. I took lessons from him.
He's there.
Is he really? Yeah, that's
You've
crazy.
taken a lot of lessons from people.
Yeah.
A lot of conflicting information, probably.
I'm sure you don't watch any YouTube videos either, do you? On the golf swing.
No.
Mhm.
Grab that.
Show me your book.
Oh yeah,
It's
on how to play
underneath
golf. All right.
your, left elbow.
Let me. And speaking of, obviously,
Carries around a how to golf book in
This is
case it ever really gets bad.
This is very serious. We were playing together
I mean, the problem is,
at TBC Sawgrass, and
I'm,
he brings this out, and he starts reading it.
I'm
and I'm
assuming
like, oh
that,
my God.
that most people, though,
don't have that.
this is a little below you, I think.
I don't know that it is, man. I don't know that it is.
It's
And
good for some people. That should be given to
fundamentals win championships, and sometimes it's just good to remember like how to hit a bunker shot. Like it's just good.
railroad tracks. Yeah, I saw it.
I mean, he will legit.
Lineman.
He'll get that out and start reading it mid-round.
It works, dude. I'm
He
telling you.
also carries swing aids in the back of the cart.
Speaking of swing
And-
aids,
and we'll get
I'd like
them
to.
out
This is
and
a great
start
sponsorship
using them.
opportunity. And speaking of sponsorship opportunities, Daphne, where's our sponsorship money? And also, I'd like to give a shout out to Salted. We give free ads around here until they start paying us for them. And this one is
They're
one.
not going to start paying if we
Yeah,
just keep doing
This is
it.
one that I'd like to share with my instructor. It's called Salted. Have you ever heard of this?
No,
So
but-
Crane and Ocean Knight and I were all on a text thread, and we were like, oh, and Crane wants to really understand his balance. So what's crazy, and I'll put a video up actually right now with because it records your video and then it shows you your weight balance and the transfer at impact and everything else. And what's interesting is Crane was like, hey man, I don't want to spend this much money on this stupid thing. And if anyone's down to spend money on swing aids, it's me. I've got literally every single, you name it, dude. I got the hanger. I've got the divot board. I've got, you name it. I mean, but what's interesting is he was like, I don't want to pay for the whole thing, but he was like, I need someone that has similar feet. And so Ocean Crane was like, I'm out. I got small feet. And then
one person gets the right one and one.
Crane is a divorce attorney. He drew up some custody papers. So I have it one week and then he has it the next. So anyway, but okay. So then TJ, so he's out there. I don't know why I bring up TJ, but like, when did you start playing tournaments? Like, was it like, what is someone like? I started playing golf like kind of late in life. Like, when did you start playing tournaments?
When did I start playing golf? Like
No,
competitive golf,
like competitive.
like high school.
Is that same with you, or do you before that?
I mean, it's high level or not, right? Like the urban junior golf stuff we would have.
Oh, okay.
It would be like camps. But you remember the original Tiger golf shoes?
Yeah.
They were like hard as a rock, but they were, I don't know, they had them donated like 1,000 pairs, right? So I'm just saying time wise, that's when this was. The original Tigers, they were all black. They were like a heavy mesh. We would do these camps, but we would play a tournament every Friday between the Babe, Rocky and Rogers, right? So every Friday I had a tournament.
Wow.
So that was cool. I think that was good.
Were you winning those?
All of them, yeah. I mean, I would shoot 72 to 74 every time. It was ridiculous.
Wow. Do you still own the club course record, Carolyn? Is that?
I think it was brought up the other day. It was 60 from the Blues.
Yeah, I think. Now,
Yes.
here's the thing, because this was a question. Like, can you 60? Wow. Can you own a course record from the Whites?
Sure.
A lot of courses
It's just
do.
from the Whites.
See, that's what we were talking about. If Helzer shot 60 from the Whites, that I don't think that's a course record. I think a course record has to be from the tips.
Oh, there's multiple course records.
I think
all
there can
cour-
be a
Yeah.
couple.
If you go to TPC now, they have like course record from each tee, but then a lot of courses will be like, it can only be a tournament course record, right? Like there has to be a legitimate tournament round played. It's on the course, right? Like,
Yeah, I guess it's up to the course.
yeah.
I'm fine with multi-T.
I mean,
That's cool.
If you don't have a freaking plaque for your Albatross,
Mhm.
there's no fucking course record.
Yeah, we walked in the shop and I looked at Thornberry, the GM, and I said, "Hey, we might have a course record." And Helzer just had 60, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to do some research. I'm not sure what the course record is."
Yeah, dude, they don't care. Shout out to Concert Golf. Thanks again for having us. But fix our greens and please pay more attention to amazing stats like course records and also albatrosses to win tournaments.
Plaques on the
And don't-
location.
Flex on the golf. I
If
think
we're
that's a great idea.
You
by the
have
way.
to. That's
For shouting out
ridiculous.
Concert Golf, really quick, they tried to give me a
History.
4-day-old ham sandwich today at the turn.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
It had
over
the
there.
date written on it. Like, what are you doing?
Concert, fix our service. Again, thanks for having us. We love it. Thank you. But
Cheese,
please,
it's like now it's nacho cheese.
It was nacho cheese.
Yeah, that's-
on the ham.
notorious.
I was
at
like,
the
what-
turn. You got to
what
get
is this?
the tuna or chicken salad scoops, but that's a little dicey too if it's 4 days old.
Yeah.
I didn't eat it.
but you paid for it.
I did.
You know, I I think that I think that the plaque is a very interesting subject. We can absolutely explore that more if you'd like. I think these guys are tired of me talking about my albatross, but I do think that it's interesting that you have multiple course. I don't know that there is. I think you gotta have it from the blue, in my opinion. No offense to Brandon, I mean, it's still amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Do you have any other course records?
A few, maybe. I don't know.
That's
I
pretty
mean, the
amazing.
Babe. I know the Babe for sure.
What'd you
was
shoot
that?
there?
58,
Jeez.
58.
What's par?
70. Poured the last 4 holes too.
Oh,
Oh,
that hurt.
Just hanging on.
you have multiple. You had a multi-eagle.
On the backside, yeah. So it's 35-35. I shot 29 on the front, made the turn. I think I eagled 10 and then went birdie, par eagle, maybe.
Hmm.
Is that 6? Yeah, that's 6. Yeah, and then part out.
Please show this video of Mr. Brunner sinking 300 putts in a row. Dude, I watched this video. I don't know how many views that thing had. It was a scratch. We'll give a shout out to whoever did it.
Yeah,
Was it
scratch golf.
Scratch Golf, shout out. And by the way, I'd love to partner with you guys and get some get some love. But I will just say that it was the views went up because I watched that thing probably like 300 times today. Like I can't believe someone can do that. First of all, secondly, I can't believe that.
I putted like shit that week. They were just doing like Scratch was out there doing some stuff. That was in Portland at
Pumpkin Ridge.
Pumpkin Ridge.
So we played that when we went out to this place, Bandon.
No worries. I think they just came out there to do a couple cool things and they wanted to see, like it was during one of the practice rounds. And like, hey, do you want to do the video? Like we got a couple guys that have done it. Just hit this 6.5 footer, whatever it was, and trying to see how many you can make in a row. And it just got weird.
Yeah. How many was it?
It was 300 and I stopped.
Oh, you stopped.
Yeah, because I was like, if we don't literally know like a world record, I'm not going to just break my back for pre-tournament, right? I was like, would I keep going? Yeah, sure. But
What am I?
I think I was hitting 4 balls at a time, right? So I would hit 4. I would get out of the setup. Someone would get them, toss them back, and I'd go back in. But it was like, yeah, at one point for sure, my feet are, you could probably see my feet moving a little bit. But, and eventually you grow, you kind of dig a little groove. But man, if it's not in that groove on the start, it's missing for sure, right? Like I had a couple buddies giving me shit. They're like, "Oh, we got a groove." It's like, fuck you.
Insane, dude. Insane. Like, I mean, and those greens were, what kind of grass is out there? Like
Not Bermuda.
For sure. No.
Yeah.
It's a pure place, though. That's a sweet place.
Could be like a
I love
band.
that. I love that. Court. Did you play Bandon when you were out there?
No.
He caddied out Bandon.
Did you?
I worked at a lot of cool places.
Now he's working for the pod.
Now I give Brandon lessons.
Lucky you.
Oh, Panda. I love you, Panda.
Actually, you're part of. Did I tell you about my Albatross? And that's pretty special. So
Absolutely.
Very special.
It all worked out.
I'm gonna take you guys with me to the moon after we partner with Scratch and Daphne and all. Getting back to your story. So then when you started playing competitively, does it start in high school?
I went to a specific school because they had a better golf team. It was still a public school, but I made that jump and basically knew no one. But that's pretty much when I started making decisions solely on golf.
Wow.
For sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
At what point did you know I'm way better than?
I wouldn't say there was a point where I knew, but it's just, you just keep plugging away. You're trying to get better. That's really what it was for me. Like every year, you either you have status somewhere or you lose status. You could have a great year, but you're like, you could get better. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I didn't really think of it. I had goals, right? Lofty goals for sure. I just try to stick to the process. Really, that's what I did.
So then in high school, like, were you winning all of them?
A lot of matches. My main goal in high school was having a low scoring average. That's what I always went after, like these scoring average kind of goals.
Back
for
then,
myself.
were they tracking stats? Like, obviously not. I mean, was it Fossil? Like that methodology where you're tracking everything, right? Like
Scott Fawcett.
Fawcett. Oh wow.
Fawcett.
Hey Ryan.
Decade Golf.
Ryan, cut that out. Decade Golf.
Leave that in, Ryan.
Another sponsorship. Well, he is a fossil, by the way. And Scott, I don't care if I tell you that, you're old school, and I love it. We need more fundamentals.
You think he's old school?
Well, I mean, I think tracking.
He's very new school, but we're like 50 years old from knowing having rangefinders and like fucking yardages on.
Where's my
courses.
rangefinder's another T-shirt?
That's a great
Bushnell,
t-shirt.
please.
Yeah.
Yes,
Reach out.
yes. Thank
I
you.
get where you're coming from.
Thank
Decade
you.
Golf, the app, the website, all of that is dated.
Yeah, it is.
Logging information for
It's
sure.
dated,
You're
but-
like, this is Pac-Man stuff for sure. Visually.
Thank you. That's what I meant.
Statistically, though, I
But
don't
what he's bringing
think so.
to the golf world
That's what I meant. Thank
is
you.
very
It's a better way to say it.
is very ahead of his time.
It's interesting that you were tracking that though, like scoring average, like back then, because even back then that was probably like a newer way to think. Like the kids probably were just like, I'm trying to shoot a low score out here. They're not thinking like averages and like trying to do math.
I don't know if it was like, maybe that's how you earned Player of the Year back then. I honestly can't remember, but it was always two things I wanted, right? I wanted a low scoring average and I wanted to make it look good in the paper because that's when they would print stuff, right? All the matches would be printed. So you'd be like, oh, that was a sweet fucking round. Nice 32, right?
Wow.
But yeah, so I think my freshman year was like, I was trying to be sub 40 for a scoring average in tournaments, and it was like 39. But then by the time senior year, I think it was 34.4, I think is what it
Wow.
was by the time I was senior.
Do you think that it's harder to basically make it in golf? Is it harder now or harder then?
I just think it's a new era. I think it's
What define make it?
Well, I mean, like, do you think obviously the competition I would think now is harder than it was back then?
deeper.
Deeper.
Right. The scores, the top players are still shooting the same scores per se, right? But there's just so many more. That's always what separated the PGA Tour from, we'll say, the Korn Ferry or Latin Tour, right? Like PGA Tour, each week maybe there's 100 guys that literally could win, right? There's a select few, this group of maybe 15 that's more favored, but you go to a tour like Latin Tour, like a lot of the guys don't have a chance to win. They earned their status, but they don't have a chance to win. You can't say anybody in the field is going to win.
Yeah.
It's just not as deep, right? Like when you look at the cuts in general, golf's it's technology now. Especially these kids are coming up from, TrackMan technology, and it's just they've gotten so much more information at a young age.
Yeah. Speaking of information, by the way, one of the contests we're running is the Flight Scope. It's a used one, but we're gonna give this puppy away. It's actually a Meebo Plus, and for one of the subscribers, we're gonna figure this
5,000th.
the 5,000th subscriber. We're gonna give that thing away. It's broken. Actually, I was using it the other day, and it actually broke on us, but it
We don't
still
have the
works
wires.
pretty good. Unless Mevo Plus wants to give us a sponsorship, this is a great opportunity for you to do it. But you're right, dude. Like, I think that is technology's like, dude, it's amazing. I mean, I've got literally soles. That sounded weird. Literally soles that you put. I don't know how else to say it. These are like,
Shoe inserts.
shoe inserts is a much better way to say it. Soles. I have
Arch support does look nice in those.
I mean, dude, like we should hook this thing up and put our nipple mics on and go out there and like hit some. I mean, we don't have any lights out there, but we can probably make it work. But it was amazing, like just to be able to see the. I mean, like you didn't have any of this shit back then. Like,
No.
now was this pre-Tiger or this was like kind of during Tiger? So the big run of like people who are interested in golf hadn't even happened yet. I imagine now with everyone that popularity of golf has only increased, I guess, since then, right? So anyway,
I don't think golf has ever been more popular than it is right now.
and do you think Full Swing helped? It probably will. I think it's going to only get better, get more.
Oh, the Netflix doc. I think it was already quite. I think COVID helped.
Yeah, COVID did help for
Thanks,
sure.
COVID.
We have a good. We have a qualified person too on rolling the ball back.
Oh yeah, what do you think of that?
Brad in favor.
Great
or
idea. Panda.
Pro or anti.
That's what you're
roll
here
the ball
for.
Back. Yep, I'm here to be nerdy.
I mean, the ball thing. I mean, in the end, to me, it's about the PGA Tour. Everybody's an entertainer. That's really what it is, right? You're selling tickets. You're selling sponsorship. They're a business. And if you don't get to see a guy like Bryson hit it 340, granted he's not on the PGA Tour anymore. To me, that's taken away from the fans. Like, oh, he busted it and it went 300. Wow, 300. Like somebody at their club hits it 300. Somebody, good chance that they're not going to be able to see somebody hit it 330, 340.
You averaged 308, 309 on the Corn Ferry or something like that.
You're the analytics guy.
I thought I saw that, but
No, I think so. Yeah, it was. For me, it wasn't necessarily the longest. The weird thing is about the Corn Ferry Tour, the way they do statistics is they do 2 holes each day.
oh, interesting.
One into the wind, one downwind. And
No
sometimes,
way.
yeah, sometimes they would give you a hole where if you're trying to manage the golf course, you're not even hitting a fucking driver.
Right, exactly.
So it's like,
That's kind of shitty.
Do you know like pre-round which holes those are?
not always, no. Because to me, it's like,
It's a big bug.
it is what it is, right? Like I'm just gonna play my game.
Oh,
But
that's
you eventually, after the first round, you know where they're doing it.
It's a bird. Is that a bird?
I got it.
Panda. Eat it, Panda.
Mr. Miyagi, this thing.
We've seen bigger in here though.
Yeah.
This is actually
that's actually quite docile compared to what we're used to.
we're used to fangs. The he's the koala got him.
Not gonna lay eggs in its fucking face.
Wouldn't be the first. He's better take a number. Your putting average was like 1.7 or something crazy.
Like
Like
something I worked on the last year, but it just honestly was. It was never my favorite, like statistic wise. It was one of the main things I focused on. Like I said, if I can get even top 40 in putting on the tour, it's gonna be a great year. Because my total driving was usually one of my best statistics. So distance and accuracy, right? And scrambling was always good as well.
dude, you're amazing at scrambling. I've only played golf with you maybe once or twice. The few times I have played with you, I always tell these guys, like, that's the difference between someone like you and like, well, I mean, there's a lot of difference between someone like you and someone like me, but I think that like the scrambling, the up and down, the putting is just amazing, dude. And you don't even notice it, even playing with Brandon. What's crazy about it is you'll play around at golf and all of a sudden you realize that, oh, they just shot 67.
When those guys, like when he's playing or Brandon's playing, they're only missing a few greens per round.
But they're always getting up and down.
Up and down.
But you're always getting up and down. Like,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, you'd like to say so. I mean,
I'd like to say always, yeah.
The crazy stuff is sometimes if you're really looking at some of the guys that are shooting like 67 in a tournament, they may only hit 9 or 10 greens, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
crazy.
that's the ticket right there, right? When you can hit 10 greens and still shoot 4 or 5 under.
Wow. Jeez, man. It's crazy. What's your take on the live?
I mean, that's serious money. The thing is, it's like all those guys for the most part, besides a few, have spent a lot of time on the road away from their families.
Right.
And they're like, man, I could just cash in right now and be able to spend more time with my family and make more money. It's
For
like
sure.
what everybody loves playing out there, but to an extent, Billy knows you're on the road. You've been on the road forever, even more countries than anybody on the PGA Tour for the most part. And it's just that'll wear on you, especially if you have family.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I totally get why they do it. I hate that they're not all playing the same tournament. Like, I just like seeing the best play the best, and I feel like now it's divided somewhat.
I think it does amp up the majors, though. I think that'll be pretty cool.
I mean,
for the majors,
if they allow them to play.
Well, I don't think. I thought I read today that the U.S. Open, if you qualify for the U.S. Open on their qualification standards already, so past winners or past, PGA winners or whatever it is, they'll still allow you to play, but they won't give special exemptions to guys that maybe would be ranked high enough if they were playing on the PGA Tour. So like that guy, was it Taylor Gooch, who's won 2 events in a row, right? He doesn't have a high enough world golf ranking to qualify for the U.S. Open. They won't give him a special exemption.
But he could qualify if he played like the.
If he went and did a U.S. Open sectional.
Yeah, he could literally do local and then sectional.
He'll probably be at sectional, so he'll get an exemption based on his tour. I'm assuming, unless they really went deep in it, and started really just cutting him down at the knees. But it's like,
yeah. How long were you on? Like, how long did you do the Corn Ferry?
I think I played 60 events, something close to that, 55, 60.
If you are in the top 10 on the Corn Ferry, then you get,
25.
top 25.
Well, there's I'll let Brad go, but there's a 25 for the regular season, and then there's a 25 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Have they made it harder to get on the PGA Tour or easier? Like,
Harder.
Well, it was probably in 13 when they took away like the original Q school where you could go to Q school.
That's what okay.
And get,
Which was fucking sick. You used to just be able to peg it for a couple days and make it to the big tour. And at least one of the rounds was at least one of the sections, was at Lake Chavita at one point.
Yeah,
but you used to be able to directly go to the PGA Tour from wherever.
But wait a minute, so you could just play one event at the PGA.
It's not one event. I think it was 6 rounds. You had to get through multiple sections and stages. Yeah,
but let's say you make it, where you just get one PGA Tour opportunity. Or?
No, you would have probably some. You would have full. You wouldn't be fully exempt into every event, but you would have full status.
It's a ranking basis still. So even from the Corn Ferry to the PGA Tour, the top 25, the only guy that's going to get every start guaranteed, besides certain special invitationals, is the number 1 on the money list. So then everybody else, like if you're 25th versus 20th, guy at 20th is going to get more starts than you guaranteed.
Wow.
So you got your tour card, but you still have to work for it. And then the big difference is they only do top 75, right? On the Corn Ferry. PGA Tour is 125, keeps your card. So you could literally finish, 76 technically, and you got to go. Yeah. So the next 10, 76 to 85 would go to final stage.
Wow.
Right? But you'd be a conditional member, but you got to go back to Q school technically.
Wow.
Yeah, that could be a whole pod of just Q school that we could get into with Brad. Q school is awesome. It's not awesome for you guys that have to do it, but it's awesome in just like a sadistic golf way.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And it's a learning curve to me too, right? Like it took me a while to figure it out because I would always go to Southern Hills because it was right here. And I'm like, I'm going to go to Southern Hills. Probably went there 4 times per second stage. Never got through. Went to a different site, and I think I went 4 out of 5 times I got through to finals. And
wow.
So, you get to finals, at least you're conditional.
Yeah.
And it gives you...
It's insane.
I'm so nerdy. I go watch Q school at Southern Hills.
Yeah. Well,
I take work off and just go spectate. Yeah. Because it's awesome. Because there's no like ropes or anything. Like you can just stand behind them. Like you can just walk with them and stuff. Yeah. And I'm just a super golf dork. Like 1 year Karadek, Appy Bonrat, and Spencer Levine were in the same group. And I was like, that's what I'm doing for the next 2 days. Just like watch them. Yeah. Shout out Spence.
Can I ask some silly questions now?
We could get Spencer on here. Potentially.
Oh, I would absolutely lose my mind if we get Spencer Levine on this podcast.
He will do some weird stuff to him in the shed.
I say that. I'm just saying, like he's pretty chill dude.
Yeah,
he's chill.
Man, we've got to
shout out
get
Sacramento
guys on remotely that don't have to.
No, we got the tech set up. I don't know if y'all noticed that little window I got going on there. That was
I'll
all.
Fly Spencer Levine here if we can get him.
Yeah, he uses Southwest, and we do have some Southwest miles. Unfortunately, there's a lot of legs involved with the Southwest.
It's not going to be direct, but we'll get you here.
Who was the dude that shout out to this guy because I loved him. I only met him that one day, but we played golf with him, and you were playing the match play deal in, I want to say Texas or something, the next day, and he was there. He had a beard. He had an amazing beard. He was a big dude.
Matt Campbell.
Yes, Matt Campbell. And that guy was amazing. He could hit the ball so far. And
I think that way. It was me and you were a team,
yes,
and you
yes,
and Matt were a
yes,
team. We
yes.
played together
That's
in a
right.
foursome.
That's right.
Yeah. And now I forgot about that.
Shout out Matt
completely.
Campbell. In your mind, like, what is the difference between you, who is like the best golfer I've ever seen, like one of them, and then like a Jordan Spieth or like a top 10? Well, I don't even know if Jordan top 10, like a top 10 level.
The best guys putt the best, as well as strike the
putting.
ball, right? I mean, putting that's how you win tournaments.
Yeah. Oh, we've had this conversation. Everyone at your level can hit the ball. Like all of you guys are good ball strikers. Your take on it was that it's that 2 or 3% probably mentally.
So the question was phrased.
Yes.
We'll use you as an example. If someone could say, like, who would you say has the best mental toughness, resiliency, is the most clutch of all time?
Tiger.
Tiger. Okay. So you take Tiger's skill set on that side. You don't get to touch anything, how he hits the ball or anything like that, but you think like him, you believe like him, you trust yourself like him, everything on that side. Who, in your opinion, has the best golf swing of all time?
I mean,
Just name.
who's the best golf swing? Like,
Yeah,
who,
swing. Who swings it the best? Who has the best golf swing?
Tiger.
Okay, say
I mean,
somebody
that's
other
the
than
problem,
Tiger. Say
right?
someone
He's
other than
just
Tiger.
a
Sure.
freak.
Rom.
Say someone Adam Scott is always notoriously for a
'Cause
great
it's
golf
pretty.
swing, right? Sure, but
It's textbook, right?
say
Ish.
someone
Fred Couples
else.
even.
Which is not even good to say textbook. There's like none.
Just say someone other than Tiger. We can't use Tiger and Tiger.
Yeah, he just wants to be Tiger.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying who's got the best swing. It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
look at Will Zalatoris. His stats of greens and reg are like the best, especially Corn Ferry.
Yeah, his are
He goes out
sick.
there, but if you look at his swing, you'd be like, no. Look at Scotty Scheffler at impact. His
okay.
feet are like,
Yeah.
he's all over the
like
place. It's
Brandon?
not. It's
Okay,
just
so
it's weird. That's
point-
a hard one.
yeah, the point is, are you taking Tiger's for your own game? Are you taking Tiger's skill set that now you own? Or are you going to take, let's use Tiger's swing that now you own? What of Tiger do you want?
Skill set or mental?
Yeah.
I
No,
would-
just swing. You don't get like his putting or anything. It's just his swing.
We're
so
moving the
we're saying either
goalpost a
his
lot.
swing or
So basically,
His
the
mental?
idea
Yeah.
is, so like all of the stuff with actually hitting the golf ball, right? So just like how you think, how you go through your
a tricky
process, your
question.
dedication, your mental resiliency, your toughness, how you handle pressure, all of that stuff. Or now actually how you hit the golf ball. What of Tiger's do you want?
I would go with the swing.
You'd go the swing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. This kind of ties into what you're doing now with teaching. Because, like, for me, an amateur, I hit a lucky shot. And by the way, I'm happy to tell you guys about it again whenever you guys want. As an Albatross win a tournament. For me, I'm always trying to work on my swing. I mean, I've literally got soles or shoe inserts here. Again, shout out to one of our sponsors, Salted. Terrible name for a swing aid, by the way, but it works. I mean, it's amazing. But
What's the reasoning there? Not to get off subject, but
Yeah.
I thought that's that's strange. Salted? Is that because you share them with your friends and they're just salty
Yeah.
by the end of the
You gotta
Yeah.
get nice and
the
crusty.
swapping?
I'm not sure. I mean, there's probably a reason they're made out of
We'll do a
salt.
deep dive into that.
So what you're saying though, right? You're saying
I work on more of the swing. Like I do swing aids. I'm looking at divot boards. I'm trying to I go take lessons from Panda. I'm trying to work on my swing. Whereas for someone at your level, it could probably make you're already probably striking the ball extremely well. A lot of times it may make more sense to focus on the mental side or the Scott Fossil aspect of
But it
things.
depends if somebody like Brad who feels like he had a good pulse on his mental side, why would he take that?
Mm-hmm.
But
I think it's
the
easier.
question was proposed as Joel Damon, who clearly struggles with a little
that Skeeter? That's a
self-confidence
Skeeter.
and self-belief
Peter?
Well,
and
get him.
commitment. So I feel
Get
like
him?
Joel Damon would take Tiger's mental skill set.
I mean, you can teach
that'd be
swinging
a
a
big-
golf club, but you cannot teach that
Yeah.
athleticism that he had. I think you can teach more, and someone can work at mental more than they can get that natural ability.
Yeah.
Like
That's true too.
some people just can't hit it 350 yards. You cannot teach. You can teach distance, but you cannot teach everybody to hit it 350. You can teach people how to react.
Unless you get these inserts right here and you are able to shift your weight at the right time. Again, Salted, terrible name. Even Tiger, though, Tiger had multiple swing coaches. He changed his swing multiple times. I mean, he's the best, literally the best player. Like, I don't know. It's just an interesting question because, like, I don't know what it is. I can't have my guests getting eaten by mosquitoes. Okay, a couple of silly questions now. So we actually have rules. This is one of the best things about our podcast is we have 0 subscribers, but yet we have rules.
We have negative subscribers. We eliminate people.
We actually, if you there's
delete.
Yes. Let me share with you some of the ones that we have right now. So one is glove putters. Even though some of the best did it, which I didn't even know about, we've come to consensus on that. And then also no ball retrievers. Also pay your fucking bets. That's why I was really hard on Shepard here to pay his bet, and I was actually going to pay it for him to make sure that I did because I didn't. I know
he does pay. He just, of course, like he said, he's got stuff going on. We don't hang out with people that don't pay their bets. Right.
Fast pay makes fast friends.
Fast play is one for fast pay. And then
he didn't say fast pay.
Fast pay and fast play. Now I'm okay with, like, I said Venmo account, like, activity. Like, I don't even care if, like, wins losses. Like, I don't care if you win or lose a lot. I lose a lot. I lose mostly, unfortunately, lately. Thanks, Panda. But I think that the activity history's got to be like, you gotta pay your bets and you gotta, like, have some gambling going on.
Okay, so if it's a bet that I personally lose, I'm pretty quick at paying.
Yeah.
But when it's a bet where I collect,
he's the organizer.
I organize everything. Yeah. So if we have 20 guys playing and everyone sends me $100 and we're paying out, 4 places in singles and 2 places in teams and skins, like, it legit will take me 15 minutes to sit down and do all of it. Sometimes I just, like, I have a lot of shit going on. I don't have 15 minutes to sit down and do math and not have anyone interrupt me and get it right because I don't want to be sending people wrong amounts of money and then they said, no, this. I just want to make sure I get it right. You should charge. So it just takes me a second.
Yeah,
so sometimes I'm just, I might be 2 or 3 days behind, but I'm always paying.
Yeah. No, I think you should charge for that. In fact, I actually am the only one that's probably ever sent you a monthly payment for. I did it for a couple months. I'm like, why am I the only one doing this? I stopped doing it. But I'm like, a little
deposit.
Yeah.
No, pull when needed.
No, I'm like, no,
that could be a thing.
No. The deposit, I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, just pay up front. Before you even pay it.
I just paid him a monthly subscription for, like, thank you for being, like, organizing all this. Yeah. Like, thank you, like, $20 extra. Like, here you go.
He'd send me like $20 and be like, hey, thanks for organizing the games for the month. And then next month I'd get nice $20.
Like, who else does that? Like, how nice? Like, that's amazing. Anyway, we don't need to talk about how nice I am. Everyone knows how great I am. Except for Carolwood, who didn't give me a plaque or anything from my.
We're talking about some things to Brad of what are some things that you see if you're like, yeah, this guy's probably not keeping it under 90.
No. Well, rules first.
Or what are you eliminating? Yeah. Iron head covers is another one.
Oh, great one.
Except at one point you had iron head covers and no other head covers, including the putter.
Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah, that's the full Mongolian reversal right there.
Weird's okay. Actually, we've made a career out of being weird, and weird's okay, but that is no iron head covers. I can't have that. And the only reason I had those, Brad, is because I had those Mizunos. Actually, last time I played with you, I had them, and you were probably like, "What is this dude playing with these things?" They were the copper ones that had the copper flipped on the outside, the Mizuno MP20s or whatever.
Yeah, mega blades with iron covers, but then the driver and the putter just dinging into each other for 18 holes down the fairway.
Very personal, right? People don't want to iron cover people.
Yeah,
don't want to talk about their iron covers.
Right?
Like, it's like it kind of takes balls to bring iron covers out to me.
I mean, that's such a slower way to play golf. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like,
why?
It adds like a half a second. I don't think it's slower. It's scummy, but I don't know that it's slower.
You're taking one off and putting it back on after every shot. What if you have the wrong club? You got to take it off that one, put that one back on.
Bro, you're the one that had one.
I got rid of them. I first of all couldn't hit those clubs. I don't know why.
When did you get rid of them? Like iron covers?
I'd say like I probably lasted like a couple weeks with that. Like, I didn't.
What year? Was it pre Albatross or during or post?
It was pre. God, that's a great question. I don't know. Did I?
The covers might have been on for the Albatross.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because it might be worth bringing that back.
Yeah. Find your mojo.
Yeah. Fuck everybody.
There's a guy on the PGA Tour who goes 2 gloves and iron covers. His name's Aaron Rye.
I've seen that. It was an interesting reason. He wanted to be humble-ish, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it? That's why he
it's like his
covers?
it's like his dad got
he used
him.
iron covers because he grew up without a lot of money and his parents were always buying him clubs, so he got used to taking care of the stuff that he got. So it's like a way to stay humble and stay true to himself.
Who else would you kick off? Like,
glove putting.
Here's a
2
big
gloves.
One. I don't even like to bring family into this, but my father-in-law uses iron head covers.
Get rid of them.
Great guy.
Great guy, but we gotta get rid of him. Sorry, Mr. We don't say a real name.
You just
but
gotta sit him down.
Yeah.
Mr. Brad's father-in-law. You know what? I mean, I get it. We can't. I'm not gonna budge on iron covers.
I
What
actually
if-
don't get it. That's the point. I don't even get it.
It's
You
club
are
jack.
you are sending these clubs in an ideal situation 90 to 100 miles an hour into the ground of dirt and rocks.
Oh, well, that's a great point.
I mean, what in the hell are you protecting?
Well, okay, so then what's the point of driver head covers then? Because I hate driver head covers, but I'm on my new. By the way, I call my. I
Because
got
it
the-
has paint.
I got the new Paradigm, right, and I've reluctantly
Got
decided
fit for a paradigm.
one of them, and
Boom.
the only one that works for me is the driver. So I got the new driver, and I call it the Will Smith. And the reason I call it the Will Smith is because it sounds like Will Smith smacking the shit out of Chris Rock at the Oscars if you catch it right. And then I call my 3-wood the Jada, and I call my 5. Tell it. You can tell.
Hey, so okay, listen to this. We're in the car all psyched up for our master's trip. We drive up to Ponte Vedra, which he also can't say, and we're going to play a course. And he gets out his bag. He's, guys, check out this new 5-wood I picked up. And he picks it up, and it has, first of all, it has a hybrid head cover on it. So we're like, what the hell is this? And I open it up and I look at it, and he bought a 4 hybrid instead of a 5-wood.
Yeah.
Is it still in play?
Well, it was the best club I hit all week. It was. Here's the thing, it doesn't have the 4 or the 5 on it. It actually has the degree of loft. And I'm sorry, like I don't know the degree of loft. It has a 23 on it or something silly. Like I don't know the degree of loft. I'm not that like into golf that like I know. So
I'm not that into
Not
golf.
into it.
I have 900 swing aids, but I don't know what loft equals.
But my
what club.
point was, just get off my back. But my point was that like I have head covers on my drivers and like all that. But like, what's the point? You're still smacking it into a ball like really fast, and like it's just a lot of work and like a lot to keep up with, and you're not going to get that much more out of it. Like I don't know. You guys really,
Professional point of view, right?
Yeah.
This is just me. On an iron top line, the top line you see is very minimal, like, right? But
Yeah.
when you set a driver down and it's got nicks all over the top of the head,
Oh, that's a good point. Yes. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Good.
a little
It's got
more
fucking
delicate.
paint.
Good answer. Good answer. All right.
You want it all chipped and beat up.
All right. All right. That's a good point. All right. So, okay. Any other addition? Should we kick anyone else off here? And we slow play.
Yeah, what's a bad look, Brad?
Oh man.
What's just a not great look out there?
Because I've probably done it. I've had most of the bad looks out there. I've whined after betting too much and then like hit a ball out of bounds.
I don't know. Give me some examples and I'll yay or nay them. I don't, because it's hard. There's just
I don't know that
bad looks. Like
Yeah.
iron covers are very noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multi glove? More than one
A
glove?
Yeah, you can run
14-way bag instead of just like the standard
Ooh,
6-way
yeah.
bag.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
You're just not going to be elite. There's like a handicap maximum if you've got the 14s.
But
If you got
again,
the 14.
those go hand in hand. Those guys, right?
Yeah.
Got 14 bag divider and iron covers.
Fuck those guys.
Bought
I
them
think
at the same
we
time.
create a side hustle of Brad just shows up places with with all of these things and then he's like, "Yo, you trying to play, bro?"
Alien wedge, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'd be like punked. It'd be like you
He's
like
got like the the golf sandals is a good one. They make like FootJoys that's like a sandal, but it's got spikes. That's a tough look.
So
It is. I'm going with those over iron covers though.
Okay.
I'd have to kick myself off the pod because I've had those before.
Nice.
When I first moved to Florida, I'm like, everyone wears sandals. I'm like, why would I wear shoes when I wear sandals?
Sandals with spikes in them.
So, did you wear metal spikes on Corn Ferry?
I did a little early on,
Yeah.
and then the real pain, I didn't find it beneficial enough for me. The real pain is when you're going to the clubhouse, because then you need to literally carry another pair of shoes, or you see a lot of guys walking into dining
Socks.
in socks
Wow.
and your shoe. It's just like, to me, it wasn't necessary. If I thought it was going to be an advantage for me, some people have more footwork, right? They move differently, but I don't know.
Shout out Scheffler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
Sheffy.
Scheffler wearing metal spikes and doing all that with his
Oh,
feet? There's no
I
way.
wouldn't think so. I think he'd ripping.
Yeah,
A
he
knee.
wears a tiger, but he wears a tiger shoe, but I don't know if it's a metal spike, but I would assume not. I know Tiger and Phil are a metal spike.
You'd see a lot of guys doing 1 foot in medals, and others are
No
rubber.
way.
Yeah.
Wow. This is why,
Yeah.
dude, thank you for so much for joining us tonight.
we
This is
would've never
amazing.
known.
We would have never known that. Do they stamp their clubs with like the, I've heard this too, where you may have like a particular club and then you'll stamp it Titleist. And by the way, Titleist, if you want to sponsor us, I'm not saying that Titleist are bad. I'm just saying that like I'm using that as the first club that can, or Mizuno or whatever. Like if you're comfortable playing Mizuno, but you get sponsored by Titleist, you can play Mizuno, but we'll stamp it with a Titleist.
Not at the Corn Ferry level. I mean, if it is, I mean, the only person that comes to mind on that whole thing is Tiger back in the day, right?
Because I heard he did that, right? Like with Nike, like he was playing. Like,
It's hard to say. I never saw it, so I couldn't say for sure, right? I don't know. If you hear about it enough, it tends to be kind of true in a way, right?
Right.
What was he doing?
Oh,
I got you. Tiger has like a club builder. His name's Mike Taylor. He does artisan golf now. And the old alleged rumor was that his irons weren't really Nike. They were like a Miura or another Japanese company, and they would just like stamp a swoosh on it.
So
You're-
I know
I don't
in
know.
tennis they do this. It's very common.
Oh,
in
we
tennis.
paint the rackets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
that makes sense.
In tennis, like players aren't using technology today, so like, any of the top male players are using rackets that were probably made close to 15 years ago, and they just every year when like Head or Wilson or Babolat releases the new technology and the new racket, and they change the cosmetic, the players' rackets stay the exact same. They just paint it differently to look like the new one.
And two, in it, the only thing I've heard in a marketing for a marketing reason, which is mostly why they would do it, there's only so many players that actually move the needle, right?
right.
Say there's 10 guys that actually people are like, if that's what he's playing, more people are going to buy it. Otherwise, the guy that's maybe 50th on tour, nobody is going to go buy those clubs. Some will, but not as much as what about Bridgestone when Tiger started playing Bridgestone balls, right? It's like they had to go through the roof, right? Nobody's buying Bridgestones before Tiger played Bridgestones.
Good question here for you, Brad. Yeah. What's your favorite club manufacturer? Like go through. So like drivers, or like just say driver and fairway woods, irons, wedges, putter.
Currently or ever historically?
And like, what would guys play if they weren't getting
Yeah.
contracts?
What would you feel like most guys would play if money wasn't,
In the last few years, we'll say that, right? If somebody was
Yeah.
under a contract, people are playing ping drivers, at least from the 425. That was huge.
what was that? Ping drivers, you think?
Ping. No, it was a stat.
Oh.
Like no contract, guys are playing. Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
thank you.
What other
All right.
flavors you got in there?
You're getting a pineapple, dog.
You can have a claw if you want a claw.
He said you didn't want it. You don't want a pineapple.
I love Miras.
You can have whatever those are if you want one of those.
They were great. I think
Oh, you
Miras
eat
are
vodka.
good. Mizuno blades. As far as blades, right? Blades go. Miras probably the best that I've hit. The boutique brands, I couldn't say I haven't hit them, right? But Miras are for a production company are probably as good as it gets. Then I would probably say Mizuno's.
What about wedges?
Wedges? I mean, the thing is, I've always played Titleist, but they're cast. They're not even forged, which wouldn't even be the best feel, but they still feel good, right? So I don't know. I mean, I've never changed balls in a way. Right? I've always stayed Titleist.
Pro
The
V1?
ball changes, but I try to stay within a certain ball that they offer. Putters. Putters are
How many putters
technology.
do you own?
Probably 30.
Oh, and then to his point, most kangaroos are left-handed. I found out, so you can be a kangaroo. I think that's actually kind of fitting.
You got a pouch on you?
I
Dude,
do.
look at your shirt. That's amazing. That's amazing, Panda.
That's good.
That's what
He's
you're
the
here for.
kangaroo.
That's what you're here for. That's amazing. That's great. Sorry, I might knock all our cameras and shit. All right, I got excited about that. I get real excited about spirit animal. That's a big thing I'm passionate about. So the
Been christened.
yes,
I'll take it.
kangaroo. That's a great.
It's
That
not
is a
going to
good
stick.
one.
I've
That's
had
a
like
good draw.
5.
No,
Yeah, because you keep saying I don't like mine.
Because
I want a new
was
one.
terrible. The only reason I was
You
named
don't get
koala
to-
is 'cause
you
I
don't have
spent
a say,
a
though.
month in Australia.
dude.
He
So,
just started calling me Panda, and I just went with it.
and by the way, his wife calls him Panda now, and when they're making out, and then the
You
koala.
guys still make out?
The only the only reason that he doesn't like koalas because we started doing research on koalas and we found out they're pretty stupid. They're like the dumbest animal. Like kangaroos is left-handies,
Yeah.
or southpaws. Question for you: Do you call a right-handed
person, Northpaw?
Definitely not.
It's just something why they call people. So, okay, could you, let's get to silly questions. This is what I'm all about. This is really why I'm here for. You know, are you considered, this is, we brought this up with your brother, Bald Eagle. Is it,
Oh yeah, are you lefty everything?
I am.
what makes you a left or right? Is it the way you write? I think it is, right? Like, I think that's what determines whether or not you're left-handed or right-handed, is it the way you write.
What you eat with?
Okay, which is going to be the same as you write.
Yeah.
That was silly.
No, because I eat with my left hand.
Oh, you're a freak.
I'm right-handed.
Psycho.
Shepherd eats people.
You're actually left-handed.
Shepherd eats people.
I shoot pool lefty.
Do you?
Yes,
Your whole family's
What
fucked
eye
up.
dominant are you?
left.
Are you?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. The
why
whole
you're
eye
good at
dominance
putting.
thing, I don't know if that even goes
I
hand in
asked
hand.
this-
What are you guys? You're left. What are you?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think both eyes are.
I blame my shitty putting on being right eye. That's
don't know
what
which
it
one?
is.
We have a
Should we
democracy.
learn
It
right now?
doesn't.
Are we doing it?
Takes a second.
Well, open both first.
Oh,
And
that's what you do.
now-
Okay.
Close one.
Okay, that's way over on the right.
Close the other one.
Oh, it stays right there with the left.
So
You're right.
Left.
No, he's right eye.
Yeah, right eye.
Right eye dominant.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Well, we don't know.
Your whole life is a lie.
On the tennis court, I can tell you what that means.
Have I been living my
Yeah.
life like the wrong way?
Wrong.
Like,
On the tennis court, if you're right eye dominant and a ball's coming to you this way and you're turning this way to hit a forehand, you're tracking it with your left eye, but your right eye is dominant. That changes things. Just like a backhand does, if you're turning this way, now you're tracking it with your right eye, which is closer to the ball. That changes how you would move to the ball, your footwork patterns. It changes a lot of things at a very high level.
hey, do you want to join our tennis league that we're getting ready to start back up? We
yeah.
had it, dude. That was fun, wasn't it, Panda? Who are you texting? Are you texting your wife?
No,
Well,
not
I look over
anymore.
on one of the pods. It's okay, you can do it. One time we
They
were
still make out. He needs
we
to
were
check
doing
his
a
phone.
yes, we were doing a pod, and he was taking a picture. I'm like, what are you taking a picture of? And he goes, I'm just proving to my wife that I'm actually doing a podcast. She thinks it's completely bizarre that I'm spending 3 hours in a shed with a bunch of dudes every week.
Said it'd be better if I was cheating.
You know why?
She'd be like, okay, I actually understand that. Because I try to explain it, and she's like, well, who listens to it? I'm like, well,
No one yet.
no one.
Yeah, we haven't released any of them.
She's like, what are all the cameras for? Is it live streaming? Like,
No. Half the time I want him to record. I have him trained to like look at the record button. As long as that record button's happening, then we're good. I think the next thing I want to ask you is silly questions. Caddy situation on Corn Ferry. How do you find your caddy? Like, do you have one that you're regular with, or do you?
I did last year.
Okay.
But most of my starts were as a conditional player, so you can't really guarantee somebody starts. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we're in this week, but we got to play well for the reshuffle, and then you don't know, so it's hard to get people to commit. So then you're getting some locals,
Yeah.
and that would get harder on Latin tour. Those are interesting times for sure.
So how long were you on the Latin tour?
2 years.
Okay. And what was that like?
Yeah,
That
just
was something.
just spill it all. That's got to be.
I mean, we could
super
start
fascinating.
with
I heard that I don't know if it's Panama or Colombia or whatever, but
His
I was
voice-
talking to somebody. Well, because I'm getting so excited. I heard that there's like a like a casino that's a brothel, and you can double on any number at blackjack.
I don't know about that
I
one.
think it was
I thought you
Colombia.
were
Your
going
mouth is
different-
like
I thought you were
water.
going a different
Regardless,
route
I
with
need
that
to
one.
get there. I was like ready to book a plane ticket. Like, you can double at any
We
time.
love degenerates. We love degenerates.
I will say, in general, my gambling in South America never went well. You're always
Okay.
getting fucked somehow.
Gotcha.
Are you guys gambling with each other on the course when you're playing these events?
There was always a match. I didn't get into it for a while. I didn't know about it until some of my buddies told me.
Because you have to keep it quiet, probably, right?
I mean,
Not really.
one of the guys, especially Corn Ferry, he'd always come around during practice. And he's like, you guys aren't gambling, are you? Like, kind of in a way where, like, I'm just saying that to cover our end, but it's like, we're fucking gambling out here. Like,
Yeah.
like these are long days. So we got to make it worth something. But it was always a thing. Like,
Especially if it's like Saturday and you're probably T64.
well, this is mostly like practice rounds, but
Okay.
But during tournaments, there was always a bet that was going on with anywhere from probably 6 to 12 guys. It would be a bogey free.
Ooh.
If you went bogey free, everyone owed you 100.
Ooh.
If you went birdie free, you had to pay everyone 200.
Oh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So
Oh,
you're like,
that's tough.
That's why you're on. That's a good one.
That is a good one, dude. All right.
good.
Thank you for that. Okay, let's just say Brando gets all these sponsorships and I'm able to get you a sponsorship exemption into the Masters. Would you rather have, which could easily happen,
plausible for sure.
salted. Salted.
Salted's gonna make
Terrible name. What's that?
Salted's gonna make that happen.
Yeah. That or Daphne. Anyway, and by the way, we haven't given a shout out to Chris Paul. And then I also give a shout out to Scott Van Pelt on every episode because for me, after I hit this, I thought for sure I would absolutely be on ESPN.
There's no cameras though. I think you need a clip of it for Scott Van Pelt.
Scott Van Pelt is a golfer. He actually lived in Orlando for a long time, and my wife is sorority sisters with his wife, or like knew her. And I'm like, all you got to do is send an email to his wife, and then I can easily be on ESPN.
I can be on top place.
Yes, like top, like come on, like please. So until I'm on ESPN with Scott Van Pelt, or I always say Chris Paul. So anyway,
It doesn't stop, right? Like this
every
rolls.
episode, I put it in my rap song, which
reoccurring.
again is going to debut at the end of this episode in my comment section or whatever. Blow it up, social. When I'm able to get your sponsorship exemption into the Masters or whatever, would you prefer your own caddy who is like been with you from, let's just say you had a whole season and is like you guys have been grinding together and you guys love each other? It'd be like having Panda out there with you, like great, love Panda. Or would you rather have like a local caddy who understands the greens really well and can
Specifically to Augusta, he's saying too.
Right, to Augusta. That's a tough call.
If you got to peg it tomorrow.
I'm going to always lean towards the team. I'm going to go with my team.
Okay. Now, do the pros consult any of the local caddies if they're new to that course? Do you know?
I would say, if anything, maybe the caddy would, but it's like, you go somewhere and the starter's like, oh, everything breaks towards the water. It's like, and that's false on the second hole. You're like,
Yeah.
this guy's he's fucking
terrible.
He's just the starter.
He's just here to cause chaos.
Yeah, he's he's
Just an
the
agent
first
of
mental
chaos.
obstacle.
First sees that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're playing the back tees. Oh, good luck, Sonny.
Okay. And then what about the situation where we saw at the Masters in Augusta? We thought it was kind of odd that the caddies had to wear the uniforms.
I thought this was the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen. The caddies are out walking the course without the players' bags. They're just out scouting the course.
We went on a practice round.
Yeah, so we went to practice round Monday. The caddies are just out there walking the course.
Yep.
Still in their white get up.
Oh, they just, it's got to be a rule for them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you hide? Have you been to Augusta?
Nope.
All right, we're going to take you with our sponsorship exemption.
Okay.
And Panda's going to catch.
I was waiting, but I was like, it didn't happen at this point.
We'll get
there
you.
we are.
No, I've been waiting on that lottery, so we just we're going to pay a lot of money for a stupid practice round, but we should definitely make a golf trip out of it. It was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. But do you think you could figure out a way to sleep overnight, pay for a practice round, sleep overnight in some azaleas or something without the grounds? Like, there's a lot of groundskeepers. Figure out a way to sleep somewhere where they're not going to find you, and then wake up and all of a sudden you're in a Friday round.
Haven't been there. You guys would have a better idea. I don't know. It sounds highly doubtful.
Yeah.
He also doesn't think that there's the tree farm with the replica trees.
This blew my mind. Did you know China controls? Do you know China controls the weather?
China?
Here, go ahead, dude.
Come on.
Panda.
Yeah.
I need
on.
your help on this, Panda.
You didn't know this? Did you know this?
I'm not a weatherologist.
I sound like a Looney Tune. I somehow sound like a Looney Tune. He made me feel stupid on this, but here, go ahead.
Yeah, so China controls their weather. They can control
the whole country.
They can control
not for the
areas,
world, just
not for the
China.
world, just for China. Like or like
It's a big ass
for the
country.
world.
Beijing,
Like,
Shanghai,
fuck the
Zhuhai,
Masters.
Chengdu, like one of the
still.
popular countries.
Even still, that's abuse.
Yeah, it's like one of the popular cities in China. They can control the weather. So if they are in a drought, they can make it rain. If there's rain clouds, they can shoot up chemicals to make it go away. They
That
can create
blew my mind.
They can create sunshine. They can make it clear. They can do all kinds of stuff.
Come on.
These
Where?
people.
Yes.
Wait, how do you know this? It's
Well,
it's
because
true.
I would spend 4 weeks every year there, and it happened to fall over. I think they call it the direct translation. I think they call it Sun Week. Is when all of China's, if you have a normal 9 to 5 blue collar job, you get off of work for 1 week like a vacation, and they want all the workers to enjoy it. So they create sunshine for that week of the year.
Create sunshine.
So we're like the tour would go always Zhuhai, Chengdu, Beijing, Shanghai. So we would always be at the first 2 stops, and it'd be in China. The pollution is so bad, so the weather's always smoggy and like it's just ugly weather. It's never sunny. And then all of a sudden we hit Beijing and just beautiful sun, blue skies, and we started talking about it, like, what the hell is happening? And we started just asking locals, and they were telling us, yeah, like there's a massive amount of people in China that work on this.
I actually Googled it. There's 40,000 people that are actually on the case, and they it's a true thing. I'm like, this blue dude, that was the biggest takeaway from the Masters trip. I'm like, China controls the weather? What?
I wonder why they don't do it year round. Is it too costly? Like, it's kind of dicked up to be like, hey, you guys have bad weather.
Yeah,
for
you get a
month.
week.
I think it's probably not the best for the environment to be,
I would assume.
messing around with it. But
Yeah.
there's other, like, so when the Olympics were in Beijing, they really amped up what they could do because they wanted to make sure the firework display was on a clear day or a clear night. So they figured that out. So they've been at this for a long time. And then
Craziness.
like conspiracy theorists think that when we were at war in Vietnam, that they were making it rain the whole time. And that was like,
Oh, you think the technology's been there that long?
yeah, they think that was a big conspiracy that like they were producing like crazy amounts of rainfall to make the war, more difficult or whatever the hell the reason was for.
I mean, I'm sorry. That like,
Fascinating.
that blew my mind. I didn't know that. Couldn't you eat a golf ball and live? Can you eat a golf ball? Like, not you, but like, can a human being, like, could Shaq, like someone huge,
Swallow it whole.
Yeah.
Like, just swallow
like
it.
not through their butt,
You
but
can
like,
chew it if you want, but you're probably not going to get a whole lot.
I'm sure you could.
don't think you
See,
can.
me and Brad are team. You could do it. I
I don't
that.
think you can. I don't think you're getting a golf ball. I don't care how big you are.
I think you're getting it down.
I don't
Like,
think you
just
are.
of swallowing a golf ball?
Like, I don't think you're going to live.
People swallow swords.
So true.
I mean,
That's a great counter argument.
I have a great one.
Yes.
I mean, that's only keeping it PG too.
That was great.
That
Yeah.
is very true. I have a great one. So, my brother Bald Eagle's wife.
Great.
Oh, this is.
That's his name.
Do you
Bald
know
Eagle?
this?
Yeah, I don't, it's stupid.
Did I tell
No.
you this?
No,
Oh, okay, yeah.
I just like
my
that.
brother's
I
Bald
just
Eagle.
like that this story's about
his-
swallowing stuff. And
No,
you're
no,
like,
no, no,
so
no, no,
my
no,
brother-in-law's
brother-in-law's
wife.
Sister-in-law.
Sorry, Steph. Fuck.
Let's say her real name. That's okay. We'll say
Anyways, she is she's not a surgeon, but she works in surgery, and so a guy came in at the ER and he had something stuck up his ass, and so they went and did X-rays and stuff, and they saw a light bulb was stuck up this guy's ass,
Intact.
fully intact, was stuck up his ass.
Like a normal size light bulb.
These
like
were
a-
all questions we asked.
Yeah.
Like how it didn't break. Like,
the long one.
No. Like, was it a floodlight? Like, this is all questions we asked.
How many lumens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was just a normal standard light bulb stuck in this guy's ass. And the best part of it all was, guess this guy's profession.
Something super normal. He's like a dentist.
No, he was an electrician.
Hey, he's got a lot of them.
How fucked
Did
up
they
is
get it
that?
out?
Yeah. I mean, obviously they got it out. Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, I hate to say this. This is bad. First thing that comes to my mind. That's a couple loose sphincters, huh?
Yeah.
To not squeeze.
Yeah.
yeah. Think one cough and it's game over.
Yeah. No, but
Sharks.
the thing didn't break. How nuts is that?
One
No,
sneeze and
I'm
you're
fine.
done.
Thank you.
Cough, sneeze. How do you sit down?
He's not worried about that.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was a plastic bulb.
Work in the ER a lot. You probably have a lot of stuff up butt stories.
Don't they have shows like that?
Yeah,
Like,
I've seen
weird-
that. All right, first of all, let me take care of our guests. How are we on time? Are you okay? Are you tired?
I mean, I have 2 children under
Yeah.
4. Yes, I'm always tired, but I'm here.
Might as well.
I'm here.
Okay. All right, good.
I mean, honestly, I wish I was like didn't have to drive home, and we would need way more booze.
You can definitely sleep
Yeah.
here. You can absolutely sleep.
That would be not good.
So it's funny. You said one time, like, have you ever slept in the shed before? And I was like, yeah, I've definitely slept in the shed lots of times.
That's a night. That's a
slept
night.
here? Huh?
You slept in this shed?
Many times.
I'm going to say many times. I'm going to say he's done just about whatever you think is possible in this space.
Actually, I've done pretty much what you think's impossible in the shed.
Exactly.
So like, so
Is
what?
this shed like the couch
No, he works.
situation?
He works in here.
You know what? Fuck the
I
couch.
work.
I'm going to the shed.
Well,
his office.
so I've had those moments, but actually, the most amount of time I've ever
I'm going
spent,
to the shed.
the most amount of time to my wife's like, dude, I have an amazing wife because she puts up with so much shit, and the fact that I went to Bandon and our caddies had COVID. This is like right in the peak of COVID, and we were like, COVID will kill you. Like, it was like scary shit.
Yeah, it was scary for like a solid minute. You were
Yeah.
like, oh fuck,
This
like
is, I mean,
you gotta plexi wrap myself.
You think if they could control the weather, they could control the damn fucking COVIDs? Like, come on,
Or did they?
Or, yeah, exactly. They did control it. Anyway, so we go out to Bandon. Our caddies had a runny nose the whole time. I'm like, this guy looks sick, dude. Like, he's coughing. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that sounds COVID-y. Next thing you know,
patient zero.
Yes. Next thing you know, me and Crane again. Another experience with Crane. We're in a rental car back to the airport. And then we're played Pumpkin. And then we're back to the airport, and then I got COVID, and I came back here. I come in, kiss and hug the wife and kids, and then I'm like coughing, and then I'm like, hey honey, give me a COVID test. She gives me a COVID test, positive, and I'm like, fuck. And so she puts me in the shed for like a good week.
Oh, a week?
Well, for like 3 days, and then she's like, I can't do this anymore with the kids. Like there was no school going on. It was like during the summer, so she was like, you just gotta come in here. You just gotta come in here and like deal with the kids. And so I go, and so I start, and she's like, and then they get COVID. So I gave the whole family COVID because of my golf trip, and
got them the Bandon.
But I spent a good 4 days out here in the shed, quarantined. It was fantastic.
How much of this of the setup came from that time though? Like, pictures and your
dude.
I have a good question for our guest. So Panda has a legendary match coming up that we're gonna try and view.
the fuck is this thing?
That's a big bee.
What
that a
animal?
bee?
You don't want to eat
It's a
that.
horsefly.
Get it, Panda.
No, it's like a June bug.
Oh.
What was you saying?
No, the first thing about the animals, would a grizzly eat
Oh yeah. Well, the first thing is who would win in a fight between a grizzly bear and a silverback gorilla.
shepherd?
There's very much so a right answer and a wrong answer.
Shepherd.
What was it?
A adult grizzly bear and a silverback gorilla. Go.
Gorilla.
Wrong.
Well,
I'm going with the claws.
Thank you.
yeah, I'll go silverback on that one.
Its snout is out. It's like 7 times the fucking size, and its hand is like the size of our face.
Now
And it has claws.
I want you to bookmark, Shepherd, where you're going with that story, because I do want to ask your opinion. Have you seen Cocaine Bear though?
Cocaine Bear.
Or Cocaine? Cocaine Bear, right?
That is a film.
Do you know about it? Great movie. I just saw the.
No.
Oh, it's good?
I've seen. Here's the thing. They made 2 of them. They made a documentary about the movie,
Okay.
and I saw that. That is fantastic.
Gotcha.
That tells you the real story about what happened. Basically, this drug dealer, if I remember right, I was pretty sick.
Also
at the
on
time.
mushrooms.
I was not on mushrooms. I had NyQuil up that night because I was sick. But it was a coke. But I watched it and it was really interesting because like this guy, there was like some drug trafficking going on, and like this guy dropped bales of cocaine, and like supposedly they found a bear covered in the cocaine and fucking went like wild. It went wild. Like, I mean, I'm talking about like, I mean, and so and they named it the #1 apex predator.
Yeah, for a second it was
Cocaine Bear.
It was the
You got to see this
like,
movie. So
most
they made a
deadly
movie about
thing.
it.
Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. Oh no, it's on
It's
It'd
like
be
a
number
movie
one.
movie.
It'd be #1.
No,
The movie's on Netflix for sure.
no. It's too big for Netflix. It went to the theaters.
Yeah, it was like an actual film. So
Okay,
the,
is that a
the
thing now,
other
though?
story.
No, it's real.
No, I mean, like, I feel like Netflix is bigger than the theaters. Not really.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But it's not, but it kind of.
All right, go ahead with your
I got a
silly
friend.
story.
He like fucked up his right, or no, he fucked up his left hand. So he was
Softball.
getting pretty dusty for like multiple months. He was hitting balls every day with just his right arm. And he could get to the point to where he could hit like a driver like 150 and kind of straight. He could bunt a 7-iron like 100, and he can obviously like chip and putt one-handed. He said, and I said, I'll take you to the wood. We'll play 9 holes. We'll both play the red tees. You can hit it with just your right arm, and I'm gonna throw it. I'll beat you by 5 to 6 minimum. True or
What's
false?
his original handicap?
Original handicap? He's probably like a
Great
3 or
question.
he's probably like a 3 or a 4. He's like
I
fellow.
never thought to ask that either.
Yeah, he's like fellow PGA member.
And he practiced that for how long?
Constantly.
Such a good question.
Hours
I've
on
never
hours.
This guy could have been like a 30 handicap, and
Yeah,
now he's like
exactly.
one-handed, and we're like, I mean, I could be close.
No, he's like a decent golfer. Yeah, he's an above average
He teaches
golfer.
he teaches a golf deck.
How are
Right.
you going to putt?
How am I
You're
gonna?
going to
putt?
roll it?
I'm gonna roll
Oh.
it. So I got like long arms. I said, so what is the rule? And he says, well, you can't move your feet. So to me, like everything inside of like 6 feet is
There you go,
good.
Panda. Keep the close
Because I can just do like
Drop it.
just like drop it in the hole.
That would be a match. I'm going to
golden tee style.
Oh, I love golden tea.
My thing is,
Oh, fuck yeah. I love
my
golden
you good at
golden
golden
tea
tea?
is sick.
I got a good golden tea story on the road for you, actually. And the whole night we drank absinthe.
Spill it.
Oh, that's a great one.
Okay, let's skip your story. Put a bookmark on that.
No, the
Let's
thing,
get to that.
well,
Okay, let's
I'm
finish
giving
that.
the edge to the one-handed guy right now.
Really? So my whole thing is like, I'm not gonna throw it in a pond or anything.
Right.
Even though he's a decent golfer, like he might leave the face open on one and like
gotta
hit
make
it
this
in a
happen.
trap
I've
or
offered the guy
something.
$200.
Why aren't we making that?
I'd offer the guy
He might hit it
$200.
in the water or a trap or something. Like I'm not gonna throw it in a shitty spot. In theory,
No, that's true.
everything inside of 6 feet, I'm
I
good
told him I just want mics
because I can
legs.
just like reach and like drop it.
Brunner, I told the guy I'd give him $200 just to do it. What would I say? I made it
is a
very
strange
reasonable.
match.
I think we're up to 300 total.
Fine.
How long did this guy practice for?
That's
It's like 3 months.
I'll do it. I'll start hitting shots one-handed, and we'll just go battle. You don't have to pay me shit.
Okay.
Now, I will say if he was right-handed and it was his left arm,
I like that better.
I'm giving you the
He's
edge.
right-handed, and he's right-handed golfer. Right hand is the healthy hand.
I'm gonna. That's if it was the other way around. You have the edge. I think that's the only chance he has.
Panda can sling the motherfucker though, dude. Imagine
bet.
like look at him, dude. He's
It's
from
not even
Texas.
about slinging it. Like,
He can't
thank
even
you.
play.
I can sling it. You know, through the javelin in high
You're
school
right.
and
It would,
everything.
it would be
but-
interesting.
Did you really?
Actually.
Oh, I gotta. This is the moneymaker right
You're
here.
gonna have to do it. Really, to me, you're gonna have to play it out.
Can you arm wrestle? You look like a good arm wrestler.
I don't think I'm a great arm wrestler. I play baseball and
You
stuff.
over the
I was
top?
a pitcher.
You're
Like
probably
I
too young
got
for over the
some
top.
arm strength, but I don't know that it's really. I don't think it's so much how far I can hit it or throw it. I think it's just that I'm not going to throw it into a shit spot.
If you're in a bunker, you're easily tossing it out.
Yeah,
so-
like I'm just underhanding it out, and he's got to hit some like filleted fucking one arm chip from 30 yards. Like
You're right.
I got to think he's going
Hey,
to
let
make
me ask
like a
you:
10.
do those caddies they don't talk about this kind of stuff on there?
caddies. No, they didn't.
Caddies are a good animal.
He did a podcast a few weeks ago with a couple caddies that had started a podcast.
Oh, okay.
That's where he's going.
Shout out to what's it called?
Life on the loop.
Life on the Loop. Ready to partner with you. Ready to do
Let's
this.
Dude, they would.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they would because they want to piggyback on our excellent questions that we got going on here. Can you swallow a golf ball? And can
Everybody love everybody.
You, I love it.
On the real note, though, it might be a good collaboration.
Let's do it. So who wins in that scenario, though, in your opinion?
I don't know. I think it's going to be tight.
Oh, I think we should do it. And I think
We'll
I
live
kind of
stream it.
like worst case scenario. Well, I've already offered this guy $200. I don't know what else this guy wants from me. Why is it? Is he scared? What's
think
his
he's
name?
scared.
What's his first name?
Pat.
Pat. Why are you so fucking
Yeah,
scared?
why
dog?
you a bitch, Pat?
Why are you a bitch, Pat? And by the way, we're cool with bitches. We're cool with females. We're cool with as long as you're not a glove putter, as long as you're not a slow
head cover
player and
user.
iron head cover.
14
Fourteen.
club divider.
Yes. What a weird
Golf sandal wearer.
It's golf sandal.
Although I still like the original idea. We show Brad up at like
I
in
love
tall
that idea.
socks
I
and
kinda
golf
wanna add one.
sandals.
If you wear loudmouth clothes.
Yeah,
Dude,
No,
thank
tough.
you. But I agree, dude. Loudmouth gotta go.
Loudmouth. Come on.
Sims wears some loudmouth shit.
He wears the what's the little llama looking thing?
Bad birdie.
Let's put it this way. If you have 2 pieces of clothing on from loudmouth, you can't do it. You're allowed 1 piece of clothing.
But now John Daly, absolutely welcome anytime he wants to come. Like that's
I
who
know.
we're that's our market. Like we want degenerates.
We just don't want the other people.
Yeah. We don't want people trying to be like John Daly or not. Like, here's the thing. We actually told some John Daly. He loves Panda is like obsessed with John Daly. Like John Daly and that other guy y'all are talking about. He will do weird things to them in the shed here. I heard this one story about him, and this better be right because it's already on one of the pods, and I've already edited it and paid for it. So hopefully it's right. Where he peed off a balcony. Did you hear this one?
Oh yeah,
You did. Okay, so I'm not off on that one.
pretty sure it's valid.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, thank
Kicked
you.
out of the club.
Yes. Okay, good. All right.
What club?
I'm not sure. I couldn't remember that part, but do you know?
Bel Air.
Bel Air. Okay. All right. Good. And that's not even around anymore, so it's okay for us to
I'm
share
gonna
that.
tell you, I don't think he really gives a shit. Anyways.
I don't think so
John
either.
Be like, yeah,
Yeah, you know him probably, right?
I played with him,
Yeah.
but he again. I used to play money games at Clearwater Country Club all the time, right?
Well, so that's what you said that.
Shout out JD.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were just talking about. Your favorite guy. We were saying that like our favorite, like our
Yeah, he's
demographic.
my favorite for
I
sure.
said you do weird stuff to him and the other guy I was talking about earlier
Mm-hmm.
in the shed. I'm like, that's our demographic. Like we are completely like loudmouth. He was saying we can't have loudmouth. Like you got to get
Yeah,
out.
he's the one human being on the face of the earth that like gets a pass.
Yeah,
though.
no, yeah,
Dude,
That's
that
what he
guy's
said, but,
welcome.
like it's really that's it though.
Yeah.
No, that
It
guy's
stops and ends.
Can he still play decent golf?
Absolutely.
I think he could, but did you see what he did in the team event in Zurich with Duval?
Yeah.
What'd he do?
They shot 82.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
shot 1 million.
I think it was the alternate shot day, but man, that was a tough one.
He's mildly competitive on the Champions Tour, though. Are you going to make a run at that, Brad? That's a good question.
That's probably more up to my speed at that point. Yeah,
What's your favorite course ever?
I mean the one that comes to my head all the time. It wasn't like the best golf wise, but I played the USAM at Chambers Bay in 2010. That was sick.
Yeah.
Was it?
Crazy place. Like,
Why?
I mean, from the clubhouse view, probably the best I've ever seen. Just the whole course is down here. You're looking over the Puget
The clubhouse
Sound
is up high.
up top. Yeah,
Oh,
you can
nice.
see the whole thing. But it was just there was 4 holes where there was no birdies.
They didn't make it tough. And it's
312 of the best amateurs in the world, and nobody made a birdie on 4 holes. That's how stupid it was set up.
Wow.
yeah,
That's
it's
not
tough
counting
what
match
they
play,
did
but
to
stroke
the what they did to the U.S. Open there too. It was truly robbery of them because it looked like dog shit on TV.
Oh,
and
it
it's
was.
Such
Oh,
it's
it
such
was
a
trash.
pure golf course.
Is
Like
that-
it's so beautiful
Why did it look bad?
because
Well,
the
they're-
greens were like fucked up.
They're
brown.
fescue. They're
Yeah.
fescue grass greens, and they
They were chucked.
they were just.
Yeah, no, my
You'll got
my
this.
favorite term is we have lost the golf course. I love that.
Yeah. That's a
So we're making shirts,
Got kamocked.
and one of them is it just says chuckless. If you're like at a nice golf course,
It has grass.
It has grass. It's chuckless.
We're gonna get kicked out of our club.
That's fine.
We'll build
Bring
our own.
it.
We'll build our own with all the
Actually, I
millions.
like Chuck, but damn it, I get it.
Dude, it's so frustrating. We went and played some of his other properties. I almost killed myself. We literally played. You'll get a kick out of this. All right, granted, not my best moment. Okay, but it was a Chuck course, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bring it up. So we're playing that course in where was it? It was Pontevedra.
Come on.
It was Jacksonville, and it was what Hammock Dunes or something. I don't know. Oh no! By the way, Hammock Dunes has the best Yelp review ever. And Crane pointed this out. He was like, we were trying to play there, and on our way to the Masters, we're trying to figure out like how we're gonna play some course on the way back. And one of the reviews was, "This course sucks. There's 0 hammocks." I just love that. I love that. The only negative review was the fact they had 0 hammocks. Okay, so all right, so we were playing this course, and then
Marsh.
was it
Marsh Landing.
Marsh Landing? Thank you.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was right. Yeah. Marsh Landing, great course. Whatever. I'm texting him. I'm phoning in some swing aids.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's like panic texting me. He's like, ball keeps going left. What do I do?
he goes straight back, straight through. It's straight physics or straight science or something.
Fucking
Look
he
at
goes,
your book.
hit yourself in the nuts.
Leisure sport.
You repeated it all the rest of the round. It was straight back, straight through.
Leisure sport.
Leisure sport. Enjoy golf with your homies.
Stop panicking.
Yeah. It's so I of course, and then that lasted two holes. I'm like, oh, I got to figure it out. We get to this one hole, and then it was my pop hole, right, which are very important when you're playing for
course.
money. And I completely blow it. I go into the water, and he drains. He's an amazing teammate, which we're gonna kill it on Friday. I can't wait to play with him again. And he sunk an amazing putt, amazing birdie. It was unbelievable. And then Crane. Guy that like I'm sharing insoles with, he ends up sinking like a 30-foot putt to push, right? Because he popped as well.
Yeah.
Par net birdie. Go ahead and say that.
Yeah, par net birdie.
I go to the next hole.
no.
Yeah.
He's frustrated. We're walking off the hole, and he looks at me. He's like, Billy, Shepard, you gotta let me know when I stroke. Like it's my fault.
I go up to the tee box, just need some time by myself. There's a house here. Ryan, this is a perfect opportunity for you to drop in this little picture show. So there's a house here with like some metallic art. Okay. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like this lady's got a taste for eclectic.
Across a pond,
yeah,
way
she's got,
over there.
I'm like, what is she? And then all of a sudden,
no, you're making this sound way too good on yourself.
so
This lady's house was 100 yards away.
Brunner, we're playing from the tips. No one's ever played these tips before.
Is this while you're standing over the ball thinking this?
No, this is
wow, look at that house.
They're still on the green. I'm so frustrated. So I go over, I grab my driver, and I'm walking over the tee box. I'm like, I gotta like fix stuff. I'm like straight back, straight through. It's leisure sport.
Gotta get some practice swings in.
Fun with the homies, whatever his panda things tell me. And then I'm like, okay. So then I'm over there and I'm like, what's this metallic thing over here? I'm like, this is weird that she would put this art here on the tee box. That's kind of weird. And I pull it up and I'm like, wow, that's pretty Marilyn Manson-ish.
Fucking World War II mine.
That's pretty Marilyn Manson-ish. This sounds crazy. I gotta show it to you. This is crazy. Do you guys see this?
This is at her house? You walked over? This is on the
He's on the tee box, and there's this. He sees this lady's house way off in the distance that has art, like not even close to where we are, like literally 100 yards across a pond, like, and she has like these crazy art sculptures. We're now on the golf course on the tee box.
I see that first. That's on the tee box. I'm like, that's weird.
And he thinks it's the lady's art somehow.
I already know
on
what
the
this
tee
is.
box.
You already know what it is?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Go
It's a
ahead.
mole trap.
Exactly. So he picks up a fucking mole trap.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm from North Carolina.
You
Like,
took that home.
Dude, I picked it up and I'm looking at it like, what the fuck is this thing? I'm like, what kind of Marilyn Manson looking thing is this? And I'm like, that's kind of weird that she'd have this kind of art. And I'm like,
Springs.
what are all these spikes and stuff? Dude, all of a sudden, I get it too close and I trigger it and it fucking, like that, like fucking, they heard it. They heard it. They heard it. They heard it. And it like literally almost fucking, dude,
I believe
Almost
it.
died.
it could have killed me, dude.
He had marks down his arm. Like, it was so
gosh.
close from impaling his arm.
Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah. Where's your fucking mole traps, Chuck?
Well, dude, so you should have a sign there. In my opinion, you should have a sign for people
Oh
that
my
are from the
God.
city.
No, you should not.
That tells
have
me
a
we're
sign.
That tells me we're playing the tips that like should not be played when we're
tells
playing
you
that.
don't go into people's yards and fuck with their
No,
shit.
it was in
No, this was on the
that
tee
was a
box. This is the
looking
point.
thing.
He saw the art way off in the distance. And then he's standing on the tee box. He's like, oh, wow, why would she put art here on the tee box? Not even on her property, across a lake. And he's like, oh, wait, it's got to be her art. Whose else art would this be?
She's running lines to this piece of art.
Yikes.
Well, we've covered everything. I mean, I'm looking at my list here.
We've covered a
lot. Crazy bets. Oh, have you heard any crazy bets with caddies before we let you run?
The only crazy,
Oh, you said you had one that's
I
like
got one that
with
was-
kids, and I was like, what?
yeah, it was like, it was very degenerate.
I love it. That's what we were all about.
This was as degenerate as it gets.
Look at Panda. He's so focused.
I
He's
love
so
this.
This was
This is the greatest day of my life. Just talking to Brad about weird golf shit.
before I used to caddy, right?
You caddy? I didn't know you caddy.
Yeah, Old Memorial. So
wow.
that's out there. That's either way. It's fine.
Shut up.
The course. This is where it happened. Two guys came into town. One guy, I'm assuming, was stuck with his child, who was probably, I don't know, 15. Said he was playing. Kid played 2 holes. They played about, the 2 of these guys played 54-ish holes
Yeah.
in the day, right? This kid is just doesn't want to be there, but he's there because his dad has a gambling problem. 10 grand a hole for
What?
all
Let's
day.
go.
No
For 54?
Yeah, 54 holes all day. And
No
I'm like,
way.
I got my guy probably won about $160,000.
No way.
Okay, and I'm
Let's
like,
go.
I'm gonna get fucking paid today.
Yeah,
Let's go. I'm grinding.
I'm going to
working
get
hard.
10%.
I'm working hard. This guy breaks off me and the other caddy the same amount. It was probably $650. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit.
You gotta punch. You gotta just punch him at that point.
I mean, I was like,
You gotta take the kid hostage.
I was like, what is this? Is trash, right? I
Yeah.
worked hard. Weird.
I know they have a divorce rate there So if you are recently divorced and you need somewhere to stay, you can pay a cheaper rate to stay at the cottages there.
That's
I
sick.
have not heard that, but
What sheds are for. Shout out Tough Sheds, sponsorship opportunity.
I mean, I'd seen it to where there was 25 guys and 25 caddies in one hole. Just a complete shit show. Playing one hole, 3 holes would take like 2 hours. Just getting hammered, and it was just it would get wild out.
One of the caddies, she was actually fantastic. She was the best one I've ever had out there. She goes, yeah, you have like 160 in. I'm like, okay, let me get like, the wind was against us. I was like, give me my 8 iron. She goes, I'm gonna give you your 4 iron. And I go, that's way too much. She goes, well, you're not exactly flushing it today. Love that. That's great.
Did you hit it?
Yeah. No, I grabbed my 8 and ended up 30 yards short.
Yeah,
of course, yeah.
that's normal. That sounds like a normal
Not
day.
exactly
No.
flushing it.
But so this guy, so he says, hey, so my buddy that's a member out there, he goes, hey, this guy there, see him there with the big old bottle of wine. I can't show his face I don't think. But this guy, first of all, he's a really good guy. And we've played golf with him on a regular situation. But look at that bottle of wine, it's just fantastic. So he was my buddy goes, hey man, I know how you get when you drink. Just like now, he's like, you get a little excited, like calm down. This is my work buddy. He goes, you need to take it down a couple notches. I'm like, no problem, man. Thanks for the invite. So I go out there and like this guy shows up drunk at 7 a.m. Like I'm like, this guy, you're telling me to calm down with this guy? So by the end of the
That's
round,
working too. If you're drunk at 7 a.m., like you gotta try.
yes. So here you go. It gets better. So this is the video. I somehow get this on video. Look at that. Oh, let me just go ahead. Did he fall? Yeah. Okay. So you can actually hear the glass break. So what happened there is he sliced open his hand. He sliced open his hand and needed stitches. Now, what's amazing about that place is
One of the chefs stitched
broke
him
his
up?
nose.
Oh my!
Look, there's his face right there. Great face. And then also, what's great about that place is like they are like within 7 minutes. Like this is like 2:30 in the morning. We're like stumbling back. They come out there and they've got it. They got it down pat. Like they've got a team, and they come out there, dude in a hazmat suit, wiping up the blood. Like he's ready to go. And then they get another guy, and they're like, well, "We got a first aid kit. That's not going to cut it for this. Like we're going to need to do something more. And who could drive?" And we all start laughing at him. Like that's not going to happen. Like no, none of us. And so they're like, okay. And so they're like, okay, well, who's going to go with us? Like we can take them, but who's going to go with us? And like we look at him, we're like, none of us are going to go with you. We're going to pay you a lot of money, and you're going to take them, and you're going to bring them back here all sewed up. So by the way, so this guy was a member at concessions, and the next day, part of our golf trip, we had guys from North Carolina flew down for this. The next day, we were actually going to go to concessions, and he was our ticket in. We have tea time at like 10 a.m. and great, we'll go, we'll take them, we'll keep you posted. And so they're texting us. They're like, he says he's going to go low at concessions tomorrow. Like he thinks he's like, this guy's completely ever. So they go and they put 10 stitches in his hand, and like this guy, I mean, he's great. Like he's perfect for the pod. Like this is who we're
Did
looking
not
for.
tell
Like,
me
this
to
is-
play
pod
the next day. He
material.
did not.
no, he woke up. He woke up at 6:30, ready to go. His bag's packed. He's ready to go. He's like, what? He's like, I don't even know what happened. Like my hand, I don't know what happened. Like what's going on? He's ready to play. We're like, dude, you cannot play golf. Like you have 10 stitches. He's like, what do you mean I have 10 stitches? He peeled off his best part. 6:30 in the morning, this guy shows up at our door, and he goes, hey man, I'm here to clean up the rest of the blood. I'm the blood guy. They have a blood guy. Man. I just love that. I love they have a blood guy there. That's just great.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to go wrong on a little cottage action there.
Did you play like before Latino and like Corn? Did you play like any like major mini tour or anything?
Played the golf tour for a couple years.
E-golf. Okay.
Yeah, e-golf.
What was that?
Like I want to get into like Hooters tour or anything if you
Carolinas.
did that. Yeah. What is
a little
the
bit of Hooters?
because Hooters used to be dusty. Like
Yeah,
Hooters
yeah,
used to
they
have
had,
like a
like-
Q school. and
Oh yeah, they
everything.
did, and it was kind of when I started playing, that was kind of phasing out, and the e-golf tour came in, and that was a solid tour. I mean, a lot of the guys that ran it work on the PGA tour now. Like they transitioned and did well in that way, but
Yeah, there's just not a great like sub developmental tour anymore, unfortunately.
no, there's really not. I don't know if you saw though the tour de Americas now, the Latin tour and Canadian tour merged.
They're gonna merge and it's just
That's
gonna be a
pretty
North
solid. I think
American
that's
thing.
solid.
Yeah.
That's good.
4 cards.
Is it?
Yeah, to Corn Ferry. Yeah, so Latin
And you
America
can
and
you can
Canada
go directly
merged.
back to PGA now. There's not a separate tour, but I think it's like the top 5 go directly.
That's fair. Hey, they earned it. I mean, shit.
You pegging it at Q School?
Am I playing Q
Yeah.
School? No.
We're done.
Not Q School, not right now. No.
Okay.
I did it like 12 times.
Yeah. That's sick.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Orange County.
I did it Orange County. Yep.
I play that course a lot. That course is so silly.
Q school?
Yeah.
Q School.
Not 12 times.
There's always one of them. There's always one guy who shows up in fucking iron covers.
that's what we're gonna do with
and
him.
Double
We're gonna-
gloves.
That's we're gonna make him like that, and he's gonna school everybody. I love that.
No,
idea.
we got to get him to just like show up at some random public course.
we gotta get. What's your boy's name again?
Pat.
We gotta get Pat to do his thing.
Yeah, we'll just set that up. We'll get drone footage and everything.
I don't know, man.
We'll
I've
get
asked you 4 times now, so I don't
I
know.
got it. Give me a month. I'll hit
Bro, Pat's a
right-handed
bitch.
shit.
So, and Pat, if he's listening, I hope he hears that. Pat's a bitch.
Is he? Does he think a grizzly could eat a? What is it? Grizzly could beat a.
Panda.
Yeah, he's
Koala.
probably panda koala. Yeah, he's probably team silverback, which is just inherently wrong.
Fuck Pat, dude.
Once again, me and Brad, same wavelength.
No, I guess. Yeah.
Team Claws.
Brad, thank you so much for joining us, man. I'd
yeah.
love to have you back.
We'll do it
Dude,
again.
let's do it
We didn't
again.
get to talk about Latin tour much, some of that weird shit, but we'll do it
Absolutely.
again.
We'll do it again.
All right, I'll look
I
forward to
have
it.
so much content we could get into.
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. And here you go, y'all. This is a world premiere of Albie's new theme song.
New outro music.
Did I tell you about my Albatross?
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Don't miss out on our upcoming golf giveaways and experiences. They're exclusive to our subscribers, and all you got to do is subscribe. And until next time, golf's easy. Think fairways and greens.
Oh, here we go. Come on. Did I tell you about my Albatross?